Hi, and welcome again to one of our youth mentorship training for teachers who are really frustrated. I'm getting a lot of complaints from teachers who want to lead the system. Parents aren't listening, the administration are listening, Ministry of Education or Department of Education are listening about how the kids are behaving, what the kids are doing, and what the parents of these kids are doing. Well, we spoke about the complaints of the parents, we spoke about the complaints of the teachers. Today we are going to talk about the complaints of the kids themselves. What are their complaints? What is their perspective? What is really happening? What is the story from their side? And then of course we're going to rationalize all the different challenges that are taking place that are causing this, but we're going to do it anyway because we want to hear their side of the story, right? And we know a lot of kids are trying to escape neglect and abuse. They feel as if their family is dysfunction, they lack support, and they're getting into addiction and a lot of these substance abuse. A lot of things happening to them. They've been taken advantage of. But we want to hear from them. What are their perspectives, right? So we're going to go through a list of complaints, just as we went through a list of complaints for the teachers and went through a list of complaints for the parents, all right? And then eventually we're going to bring all of that to what can be done, what should be done, how to get it done, all right? So here's our complaints from one youth. My home life sucks. This is a youth complaining, a kid complaining. My home life sucks. No one cares about me. So I might as well find somewhere else to belong. As far as they're concerned, they want to go somewhere else. So they're talking about their home now. They're feeling unloved, unwanted. They're feeling lonely. They're feeling desperate. You're hearing that in the complaint, and there's a risk of joining the gang. You know, it seems as if the gang is more attractive to them. Can offer a better sense of belonging, and this is something we really need to take heart of that. Why is it that their home life, they don't feel like if they belong, but they feel as if they will belong at the gangs, A temporary escape from the pain of the reality. That is what they're facing, right? Here's another complaint. My family life is messed up and no one understands me. This is what a kid is saying. So they're saying no one understands them. So, I mean, there's like unstable family environment, broken relationships, lack of support, no contribution, or they can't contribute. Nobody's contributing to the feelings of isolation and frustration, you know, and this leading these kids to seek, you know, validation from outside, again, from the gangs or somewhere else. All right. They might try to find it in school from the teachers or from peers in the school, but they're saying no one understands them, not even the teachers. So this is a complaint that they have. Here's another complaint. I couldn't deal with my problems without using some sort of substance. This is a substance abuse case, and this kid is really going down and feeling stressed and feeling emotional pain, even mental health issues with this kid, and the challenges are so great that they can't function, they can't operate without using something to help them. Um, so this negative behavior and this addiction, we might see the outcome, but they're feeling as if they can't deal with their problem themselves. No one, they don't have the power or the strength to do it. That's what they're thinking. All right. It's important to get that. All right. There's another complaint. There's nothing for me here. That is at the home, at the school. No good jobs, no future. Who cares about school? This is the complaint with the kids. Who cares about school if it doesn't lead anywhere? So as far as they're seeing in their community, going to school, studying, trying to follow what the teacher is saying is not leading anywhere. So they're seeing this in their community that way. This doesn't make sense. And they're complaining about that, like, okay, so what is sense I am going to school? That's what they're saying. There's nothing for them here, right? So they're experiencing limited opportunities. They're feeling trapped in a circle of poverty, a circle of depression, a circle of hopelessness, of disillusionment, right? And of course, that leads to risky behavior, right? Which might seem like the only way out, to break free from, achieving some sort of excellence, some sort of power, some sort of achievement, feeling some sort of achievement or sense of power, potential in their lives. You know, so this is a real thing that is happening here, in the way this person is complaining. All right, Let's look at another one. School wasn't for me, they're saying, and nobody cares about my success. Why would a kid say that? Why would a kid say school wasn't for them and nobody cares about their success? Right? They're struggling academically. Um, they're perceiving that there is no support from teachers, from peers, from parents, and they feel disengaged from the education system, right? And it seems as if the education system is not contributing, so they end up as a dropout, as a school dropout, and of course end up in disruptive behavior, right? They're experiencing this, and they're like, well, why would they say that, you know? But let's go, let's continue, right? Some people are dealing with pain and trauma, right? Here's another one. Life has been tough, and I just wanted a way to escape the pain. They wanted a way to escape the pain. So these youths are turning to drugs, crime, and other negative behavior to cope with as a coping mechanism, right? To numb the emotional pain and trauma that they've been through their life, whether it's through their family life or through lives with their peers. But for them, life is tough. And I've experienced tough life. We have experienced tough life. But let's see what's happening here. Let's keep going. Things happened that I can't forget. Wow. That's a complaint from a kid. Things happen that I can't forget. School just triggers bad emotions. So why bother? That's the complaint for a kid. So their unprocessed anger and trauma and untreated mental health challenges that are manifesting in self-destructive behavior, right? And the way to numb the pain is to avoid facing difficult behavior, difficult emotions, difficult situations. So they find another way out. Wow, they're trying to find an escape route. This is what they're looking for. All right. Here's another one. Everyone at school judges me. I only feel accepted when I'm with my crew, with my gang. Even if we do dumb stuff. So even if they do dumb stuff, that kid feel belonging. Nobody's judging them. Right? So the yearning of acceptance and belonging is driving that kid towards a group that might be destructive. But in that group, they've been validated. They might have be involved in activities that are problematic. And because they feel ostracized and misunderstood in the right environment, right? So they end up in risky behavior, right? Preferably, instead of being isolated by themselves, they end up in a situation where they're involved in crime and different things because this group is validating them and accepting them. All right, we need to deal with that. We need to deal with that. Here's another one. I needed to fit in and be accepted by my peers. Wow. Right? So the desire for acceptance and belonging again, we've seen it coming up over and over. Right? We've seen that coming up so they're trying to look for that within particular peer groups. Right? And this is driving youths to adopt, antisocial behavior because they have to fit into this group. This group that is influencing them to be involved in antisocial behavior. Yeah. They want to fit in. They want to belong. Okay, here's another one. It's the only life I've known. Everyone around me is doing it. What is it that everyone around them is doing? So they grew up. This person grew up in an environment that have a high crime rate, and the associating effects or consequences is of course being involved in criminal activities. That seems normal to them because everyone around them is doing it. That's the life that they know. So something needs to be done for them to break free from that, right? Here's this one. I never had anyone to look up to, or to guide me. This person never had anyone to look up to or to guide me. The absence of positive adult love or role models or mentors is contributing to this person's perspective. They feel a sense of aimlessness, a lack of direction, because there's nobody to look up to see where direction to go to. So teachers, parents, we have a lot of work to do. All right. Here's another complaint. The system is rigged against us. A kid is saying this, right? The system is rigged against us. Cops target us. Teachers don't listen. Wow. We have to fight back to be heard. Why should that be? Why should it be? They're experiencing discrimination, feeling of unfair treatment, and it's breeding anger and resentment. And of course, they're acting out. And this acting out might seem like a way of challenging the system, challenging the lessons and the programs. And of course, in doing that, different agencies are being targeted. All right. It seems like it's an unjust world to them because no one listens to them. It's rigged against them. That's their perspective. So they don't know what you know. They're not aware of the systems that are available or the care that you could bring to them. Right? The systems that might be available for them to care for them, to help them. They're not aware. All right. So we need to get this to them. We need to get the right systems to them. Here's another one. There were no opportunities for me and I needed to survive. Survival is a very strong uh, driving influence and motivation for people to do anything, right? So the economic challenges this kid was facing, the poverty, the limited access to opportunities, led this person to be engaged in criminal activities to survive. Wow, this is what they're saying. This is a complaint they have, right? Here's another one. I don't think about the consequences at the time. Some youths may engage in impulsive behavior without fully understanding. They don't understand the long-term consequences. They don't understand what is happening because the survival mechanism brings them to a point of desperation and they just act out. So what is happening is that the long-term consequences, of course, due to these limited or short-term decisions, cognitive, short circuit their cognitive development, and of course they focus on immediate gratification, the immediate need that need to be fulfilled, whether it's hunger, belonging, and afterwards they realize, wait a minute, what have I done? It's too late, right? They didn't think about it at the time. These are things that are real things that are happening in our kids, right? Now, here's another one. I wanted to show that I have control over my life. That's fighting back, right? So this person, this kid, is desiring autonomy, rebelling against the authority and against the social norms that other people are giving them, right? And it's driving them to engage in behavior that seems, defiant and rebellious because they're looking for a way out. They're looking to find a way to control their own life because it seems like everybody around them trying to condemn them and trying to put pressure on them to become things that they're not. Right? Nobody's listening again. Right? Okay, let's go on. Right? Yeah. So this is the kind of thing. These are the kind of things that are happening with our kids. We need to do something about this. We need to work with our kids. And I remember sharing some of the videos that says the way to influence our kids is to listen. Even though they may not be right, we may think they're not right. That's okay. Listen. Find out why they think that way. Why do you think so? Let them give you their perspective. Then gradually you have the process, you have the opportunity now to ask, would you like to see how you can be helped? Would you like to have another way? When they're now ready to listen and say, yes, is there another way? How can I help this? Right? Sometimes you even have to ask a question 3 times, sometimes even 5 times, in different ways to make sure that they really want it. Because you want to get them to the place where they're attentive to what you're about to say. You don't want to just give away your instructions just so. And a lot of teachers and parents don't realize that a lot of the instructions we give our kids, they don't listen. They look at what we do and they get instructions from what we're doing. But if we could ask them several times to say, yes, I really want this. Yes, I need this. Sometimes you even give them a test and say, okay, if you really want this, if you really want a way out of this, meet me so and so. Meet me in the gym. Meet me in the classroom. Meet me in the library. In other words, you don't want to just give it to them. You want to make sure that they really want this. Sometimes you have to do that. Because you want that when you're ready to give them the instruction or the guidance or the wisdom, you want them to be a place where they are open to receive it. It's not cheap. It's not, you don't want to just give it away just like that. Because you see, once they get it cheap, they can just drop it cheap. But when they have to make an effort to receive it, what happens is that they will hold on to it. They will follow it. I remember when I was young, when I was young, beginning school, and I just passed to go to high school. Just passed my exams and so forth to go to high school. And a drunk man, a drunk man on the steps. I was sitting on the steps at his home. Well, his house, his father owned the bar, right? His father owned the bar, which is just one house away. The bar was next to his house, right? I was sitting on the steps. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't drinking, right? I was sitting on the steps with him. I was there, and of course, everybody knew that because I was an orphan. Everybody knew that I passed my exams and I was going to high school and so forth, right? So he told me, he said, "Boy, your sisters didn't make it. I had two sisters before me. I was the baby. All right, your sisters didn't make it. You have to make it for them." I was like, "What?" And he told me it again. He said, "Your sisters didn't make it. One went to high school and she got dropped out. One didn't go to high school. One didn't pass to go to high school. So she left school and started working." She grew up with his family. I grew up separately in different homes and different people and so forth because our father gave us away to different people. Right? And my story is there in the other videos, so you could always listen to the other videos. Right. So he told me that, and I took that to heart. I have to make it for them. I was just entering high school. I was just about to go to high school, and he told me that. That left a strong impression on me that I dig in and focused on being successful in high school. Nobody had to tell me to study my work or to stay away from gangs or anything like that. I was dead on focused. I had a vision. I was on to making something, right? It doesn't matter what happened, what the teachers brought, it doesn't matter. It didn't matter what. I was ready for any lion that came out of the jungle. Anything that came my way, I was ready to lick up everything. I started, before high school started, I started learning the work in the books. Because we got the books before school started. I started learning the work on my own. That left something in me. Right? Everybody have it differently. Somebody might tell a kid something that triggers a negative, a destructive behavior. But you might tell a kid something that makes them want to turn around and face the giants and get on. But not every kid is like that. And you have to know which kid is there. Which one you're engaging with and what triggers them, what makes them want to stand up and face the world and get things done right? And sometimes you have to test the waters to make sure know what that is. And then you give them the wisdom. But that wisdom, I never forgot that. I forgot a lot of things that other people told me and stuff. But that what that man told me, that drunkard, I never forgot it. All right? So listen to the kids. And yes, you have your wisdom, you have your way, you have your perspective, you know what is needed. But listen to them. Listen to the companies. Ask question why they think that way. What really happened? What would they like to see instead? And then, if they really want it, give them the wisdom. Let them show that they really want it. Okay. I really hope that's helped. And that you will be able to transform the lives of the kids around you, the youths around you, influencing them and transforming them. So as you become an influence in your community, in your school as a teacher, in your neighborhood, wherever you are. All right. So I hope that this helps. All right. Bless you and see you next time.